Alrighty, hello there everybody, welcome back to another Pro Demo review. In this episode, we're looking at play day 6 of EUL Stage 3, Rogue taking on Outsiders. We'll be watching it back from the perspective of Spoit, as it's his best performance of the stage. Let's roll it into round 1. Rogue starting on the defense. Spoit gets a 1.56 Siege GG rating in this game, 14 to 7 KD, plus 3 entry, 92% cost. So he has a really good game here against Outsiders who aren't slouches. But Rogue obviously would have been favourites going into this game. The major champions of Stage 2. Bit of a disappointment, I guess, that we didn't see them at the major for Stage 3. But seems to be the trend at the moment in Modern Siege. A team will do really well internationally, come back, and then they have a target on their back and won't perform as well on the next stage. So it looks like it will come down to a very late attack here, and Rogue backing themselves in to stall out the execute. Unfortunately though, their smoke does die first. A key operator on a site like this. Leon now will jump on info. Spoit will hold down the line. It's one of the benefits of rotating back, is he can hold down this position. Has been breached. Gets a little bit timed there, but then hits a really nice tap onto Dan. Always goes for the plant. No one really in a position to deny it immediately, but eventually that will happen. The hatch drop is pretty slow there from Outsiders. Rogue able to clean up. Really nice shot there from Spoit, and a good way to kick off his campaign here on Bank. It's certainly going to be interesting, I think, heading into the new patch, Solar Raid, with Alibi getting nerfed a little bit, no 1.5, and with the ADS movement speed and whatnot being adjusted. It will be interesting to see if Alibi is as popular as she has been over the last couple of stages. You'll often see the strongest Fagger on Alibi on a lot of defensive positions. I remember for the longest time, a lot of people really didn't like Alibi, feeling like her EUL wasn't that great. And whilst that's still pretty much the case as it's unchanged, the kit makes up for that now that a lot of historically strong fraggers like Jaeger, Malusi, etc. perhaps aren't as viable nowadays. So that'll be interesting to see going forward, and whether or not Alibi will stay in the meta or players will transition to something else. Again, oh, that elevator position from Spoit. Man knows how to play it well, and Pasha gets punished. It's also a hard breacher down for Outsiders. So that's pretty unfortunate for the attack. You can see a red outline up above. We'll quickly see where these players are. So one stock, one main entrance, one up above on the hatch. So I don't think Spoit's going to have a huge impact immediately, but he'll now need to try and play retake, 2v2, 15 seconds. Spots one, that's Rask down. Now it's just always up, and he gets cleaned up by his teammate. So again, another solid round from Spoit, 3-0. Spoit changing it up then for the final round of this first rotation onto the Oryx for upstairs. Kanto gets the opener with the UMP. It seems like Spoit's pretty comfortable in this sort of half of the map. Pops the hatch to assist Cryan, and he can actually go straight back up. He'll now replace inside of elevator. Okay, that's an interesting way to create a rotation, but I like it. Perhaps something that was pre-prepared by Rogue in response to some sort of pressure from Outsiders. And again, two-man advantage. Now, last time they did let that slip a little bit. So we'll fast forward and we'll see how exactly Rogue go about trying to close out this round. Upstairs can be so difficult to defend. So this is a really key round in really stamping their authority in this match if they're able to convert it. Shield's still standing over towards stock. This is very common in pro play, and this sort of setup has filtered down to ranked now. I'm sure one Spoit's pretty familiar in playing. Doesn't win out on that initial engagement, but survives. Always won't use a summer on the shield. So it will stand and there's no nades left. So this position very much fortified for Spoit, and in the 5 versus 2. It should be pretty easy to clean this one up. Spots him again. And eventually will not actually win the fight. Always will beat him there. But of course, the round was already over. Third on the trot then for Rogue, and they'll go back down below, which makes sense. Spoit again posts up inside his elevated position, this time being droned out a little bit. A wall bang as well from Tellers. Outside's going for a different approach to try and clear this position. The impact, though, from Spoit, it's clean. Catches Rask out of position. Now it's a 4 versus 4. He rotates back. Leon as well will double down. And again, it's well played. Spoit knows how to get the timing down pat and also has the discipline to rotate off. Plenty of players in positions similar to this, or this one exactly, can sometimes get a little bit greedy. But Spoit instead repositions. He can still apply pressure to a pretty similar part of the map from main stairs, but just not directly sit inside of the kill box of elevator. Now he'll go back towards lockers with a minute to go. And this is looking like a really strong start for Rogue. We'll fast forward a little bit, see how they go about closing out the round. Similar rotations again, similar setup. 3-3. Same line of sight deep in towards sight. So if outside is posture again for a default plant, and again create the breach from server, Spoit, if he's sharp enough, might be able to hit a similar shot. It's the same breach. Almost hits it. Needs to try and hit a one tap, but easier said than done from that range. Also mindful of a push down main stairs. If there is a pinch late, he could get caught off guard. Again, hits that clean shot through server. Such a strong line. It's always for the plant. Gets it down, but denied. Now it's just one player up above. We'll see how they retake. This can be a little bit tricky for the defense to retake. A lot of positions that the sledge could post up on. But they triple retake up above. The first two die, and they actually miss the trade. Okay. Wow. A little bit messy there from Rogue. The spacing wasn't great. And Spoit, wow, doesn't win that fight. What a post there from Milan. Wow, holy shit. That was actually insane. Really well played. Quad for him in the round. Watch that back for his perspective. I know we're not focusing on him in this video, but that was a really, really impressive hold in the post. I think Rogue spacing there could have been a little bit better. Maybe they could have had a player pinch from a different direction as well. They all did stack main stairs, but props to Milan. He hit every single shot. Yeah, I think the second player there. I think Kante maybe just probably could have swung a bit further. I don't know. Either way, probably in trouble. So, yeah, really well played. Wow, that was clean. And that's a tester for Rogue because they went 3-0, perfect first rotation. Then they throw around like that. So let's see how they continue on from here. It's a basement defense for Rogue here in round 6, and I'm just going at 2x speed on the overhead just to show a slightly different pattern here from him. Starting up on the top floor. You drop down janitor hatch, then assist a teammate inside of open area before going back to elevator. So just playing a little bit more of an aggressive contact position, seeing if you can gain information. Outsiders, however, will go for a similar attack themselves. They'll open up the castle barricade. They'll open up the lone office wall as well with that Habana. So Spoit now needs to be a little bit careful. Pasha holding down the line, but Spoit times him again. Wow, poor Pasha. 1 in 5 so far in this game, and Spoit has just been absolutely gaming on him. Does the exact same thing. Rotates back down, creates that rotation so that he can then play for the long angle towards default plant. Then goes main stairs. So it's all very well drilled by Spoit. He knows what he's doing. It's the exact same thing every time, pretty much. We'll speed it up once more. See if Rogue can go forward 2.5 off the back of that opening pick. Oh, okay. Let's go back and watch that. Spoit gets caught off guard. A push down main stairs, I believe. That's exactly what it was. The sledge just, wow, perfectly positioned. You did not see the sledge once. One thing about sledge that can be a little bit annoying when playing him is sometimes the hammer can actually give away your position a little bit because of the way it pokes out. But not the case there. Milan does a great job. He's on fire at the moment, and I think that's going to be a really interesting contest throughout this game heading into the second half. The score's then even 3 apiece, so Rogue get the first 3. Outsiders then respond in the next 3. Shaping up for a really close game. We'll see what Rogue have on the attack. Bank can lean pretty attacker-sided depending on sort of the teams that are playing, the bands that are in place. No Valkyrie on the board. Will probably hurt the defense quite a bit. Spoit getting control up above here. Through square. This is an angle that I don't know if he created this angle, but it's one I've seen a little bit here and there. Where you jump up on this box, you can look down main stairs. This prevents anyone from down below re-aggressing. Much like sometimes Spoit plays that main stairs position. he wouldn't be able to push up, and neither would outsiders against him. Control now established for Rogue, so we'll put it back in 2x and see how they go about the execute. A nade on main stairs to deal with the barbed wire, and now just some Geminis to help gain information, burn exterior gates. Spoit hasn't seen all too much this round, and that's just the nature of basement bank, right? It's always been this way. Even in the current meta, it's one of the more execute-heavy objectives very late in rounds, depending on sort of how you want to set up. There's no threat over towards main stairs yet, but Spoit pushes down, and there certainly was a threat. Rewind that back and watch it back in slow motion, see what went wrong. So this gate was burnt, I'm pretty sure, unless it got reactivated. Spoit just pushed down, got shot in behind. Wasn't expecting the off angle there from the Jaeger. And whilst the tracking was okay, it was just a little bit too late. And Milon, again, able to find that pick. And the duel between those two continues to heat up. 4 straight now for outsiders. So Rogue's backs are well and truly against the wall. They're really being tested in this game. And we'll see how they shape up for this round. Let's double check what the objective is. It's open area, so window control at the moment established by Spoit. Cryon does get the first on the Nook. Pretty powerful operator on bank, of course. Oh, the nade, does it land? Oh no, that's unfortunate for Spoit. Tries to use a grenade to deal with the Kiva barrier, but it just slips out of the windowsill. I'd argue that a nade there probably isn't the most effective use of utility anyway, but it is what it is. Now has none left for the rest of the round, but Cryon is just doing so much work elsewhere. We'll see how Spoit tries to have an impact in the round. Let's see where these players are located. So Echo's main breach. Spoit can keep the drone alive and keep it in a safe spot. So much information. Kind of surprised outsiders didn't see or hear the drone, but you take those as an attacker. Finding positions for drones late round in sight can sometimes be so impactful. Rogue don't have a dead player at the moment, so it makes it a little bit awkward trying to multitask around holding them. If there was someone dead there, there would have been really good info. Unfortunately, the camera does get taken down eventually. Aggressive there from outside. They impact Castle Barricade, try to find a play. Obviously, 5v3, need to try and find something. But Spoit and Rogue, they're ready, they're waiting. A quad for Cryon. Spoit gets another kill on the board. Rogue finally get around. Into round 9. Very similar top square entry here from Spoit through Janitor. Double hatch angle. Doesn't land the shots there onto Echo, I think it was, or whoever it was down below. That would have been a really impactful kill for Rogue. Especially if it was the Echo for the information denial. Spoit now at main door. Are we just waiting for some kind of combination here with a teammate? Peeking it dry would be pretty ill-advised. The way he's playing it indicates that he doesn't know how much of side is clear. Now there's drones coming through, so that will help. And once he knows that like the south side of open area to his right is clear, gives him a bit more safety on the swing. 20 seconds. 3 versus 5. Very conscious of a flank. Perhaps had a read. Hits the shot and the second, so Pasha tries to trade and is unsuccessful. Then gets a third on the entry. Because he knows the right-hand side's safe to swing. Knows where the next player is, he'll call that out. They'd probably have a special call out for that. Kanto reacts and gets the kill. Now it's up to Always. Does he have an Echo drone to deny the plant? I think he did, but it gets shot. And that will be surely around to Rogue. It's going to be a pretty slow retake here, I would assume, for the Echo. Spoit has a really strong angle here on the prone. Echo's not going to look at this. He doesn't. Quad for Spoit. Let's quickly go back and see if the Echo actually did have a drone there to deny. And he did. Okay. This would have been... Imagine you're Rogue and you lose the round here because your the Echo on the other team denies plant. That would have been super frustrating. But we'll quickly watch it back from his perspective. Always drops the hatch. Doesn't actually have line of sight onto the diffuser, so the Echo drone just a little bit out of position. If it had been in position, he only would have been able to deny it once, and then it would have been taken down anyway. So super well done by Rogue. The entry there from Spoit, really strong, and that's a big statement for Rogue to make in this game. It's basement defense for round 10. I've skipped pretty deep into the round. It's played out almost identically to the last time. Spoit taking control, top square, down through main, nades util on the stairs. It's all very same. Last time he had issues on the cross from Vault. We saw him get taken down. It was a little bit awkward there on the entry and probably wasn't synced up as well as it could have been. That may be in the back of his mind heading into this round, how he can make sure that he gets a pick on this entry. Or at the very least, make sure that he's traded. 50 seconds. 5 versus 5. As I say that though, there's a trade. A Nook for an Aruni. Unfortunately, Rogue lose 2. Spoit maybe would have been able to find a trade there on the swing, but doesn't have that information. Second nade. Now a Gemini for information. 30 seconds, and now he has to contest against gas smokes. Always has 1 left, so basically for the remainder of the round there's going to be smokes. Spoit now needs to push through, he does. Pre-fire is the angle he died to last time. Really nice shot. Definitely remember the last time he died. Now 10 seconds, and it's a 3v3. Low on HP though, so you wouldn't back him in to win this fight, and no. Unfortunately, always, wow, really pops off there. 3 to top off the round. Spoit did a pretty good job there. He had mainstairs control. He found a pick against the player that took him down last time. Unfortunately though, the rest of the attack wasn't as tidy as it could have been. Into round 11, Cryon kicks it off with a grenade. Spoit did initially pick a Mara in this round, but did a repick off. That would have been very interesting to see. But 5-5, round 11, I love this situation. Winner, of course, gets match point. So gets to dictate the game. We saw last time outside is heavily played on site. Again, a drone will confirm the south side is clear. Spoit knows now that he can swing. No one's going to pressure him from the right-hand side. Just needs to be careful of an uptight angle. Or a close-up angle. There is Partial with the shotgun. If he knows it's a shotgun as well, he can just hold range. The shotgun isn't going to win it out. He'll cook a grenade. Maybe try to lob it short. No one behind this chassis. And really just biding his time here, waiting for the rest of the team to be in a position for this take. And I'm expecting this to play out quite similarly to the last one. Now taking a bit more ground. 30 seconds to go for Rogue. Another drone. So good information for the attack. Spoit being fed that. He's just sitting back and listening to it. Okay, Azami able to get across. Spoit got timed. That's really unfortunate for Rogue, but he still hits the shot. He doesn't hit the shot, but he would have anyway. A teammate cleaned it up, and then Spoit cleans up the next. 5 versus 1. And even a really small potential mistake there that could have been devastating for Rogue, cleaned up nicely. They now have match point. Into the closing stages then of round number 12. Rogue looking to close out this game in regulation. A 3-0 start. Then into a 3-4 scoreline. They had to work pretty hard in this game. So credit to Outsiders, played quite well. 5v4 now for Rogue though. And then we'll see Spoit playing inside of open area. This is a position we haven't really seen him play much of. maybe that's why. He goes for the drop, the kamikaze. And he dies. But the rest of the team will clean up. We'll let it play out. Milan in the 1v3. Really good game for Spoit overall. 14-7-3, so a great scoreline from him. Good impact on the entries, finding a lot of picks. And a lot of the mistakes that he made throughout the match, ones that he could correct later on, he did a really good job in doing so. So full credit to him. This was an important game for Rogue to keep their major hopes alive. Unfortunately, it did fall apart a little bit towards the end, but that's the way it is. I think Rogue is still such a dangerous team. Look forward to seeing them more internationally, of course. Milan now in the retake. And this is not a position you want to find yourself in. We'll put it at 2x speed. Let's get this demo over and done with. I think we can all see where this game's going if you don't know the result already. Rogue just giving him absolutely nothing. And yeah, the vert from Cryon. GG's to Rogue, 7-5 against Outsiders in the EUL. They're really enjoyable POV to watch. Spoit, always a pleasure to watch him go about his work. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, of course, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.